Oh, hello, boys. It is me, Double Billet Fish Fillet. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. It has been a while since I have gotten pretty excited about something in this game. I'm not gonna lie. Since we don't have new content and things coming out, it's I've kind of missed that excitement, about latching onto a weird little build. But I've found something else where my autism has, latched onto, and this is the result of some of that. So, without further ado, boys, I want to show you why my barbarian is purple, and why the fuck he has a Kuko Shikaku bow. So, we know this bow is quite common on Enchantress. If some of you boys have been following me for a while, I've been covering Enchantress for a while, and also this thing, quite early on with Demon Machine and whatnot. And what is cool about firing explosive arrows, pretty much all of it, right? And I'm like, why can't the barbarian have some fun as well? That's pretty cool. You know what else would be pretty cool is if Dabrowski came back to Diablo 2. But I thought, since we can't have that, and we can't have new patches, and we can't have nice things, I thought the next best thing that we can do is to build a purple fucking barbarian ranger and actually make it somewhat viable. So here's what we have. We have a barbarian that is built around using this. It is a upped Kuko Shikaku bow. Now, we are going to amp up the fire damage as much as possible on this unit, while dealing a reasonable amount of physical damage from our upped Kuko Shikaku bow. Now, on this will be the first variant of several which I am currently testing. So, this one is leaned to as much fire damage as fucking possible, just to see that. There is other ones that I will get to in the future, but I thought for now I've tidied up this single variant, this iteration that I'm happy with of total fire elemental output, and here it is, okay? So, with our Kuko Shikaku bow, we're going to be shooting fire damage. All added fire damage applies to the actual explosion radius as well. So for that, we have Pierce on our Razor Tail, we have a shit ton of fire damage. I know this is retarded. This is a perfect roll, dual fire damage small charm. We have a Fire Sunder, okay? It's making sense. What else do we have, boys? We have an Amethyst with facets in here. We have an Amethyst with facets in here. We have Hellmouth for fire damage. We have a few other things. We have up Cow Kings. There you go. For the boys who can't be bothered waiting for the rest of the video by the time I get to the gear, that's for you. Now I'm going to go through stats, skills, and gear, and then we can suck each other off, because everyone else who skips to the other section is going to miss this part, boys, where we're going to talk about sucking each other off. They're going to miss this, okay? Just me and you. Join the Discord. So, stats is, strength is 133. The reason why we have that at 133 is because we need to pre-buff with this, which is a Demon Limb with a plus 5% fire skill facet, because that is how we get a big enchant. We don't have friends. We have no friends to join our game to enchant us, so we need that. And moving on. Dexterity is 187. Decent points in here. All our excess is going in there, because points into dexterity increases our range physical damage. Bingo bongo. Then we got vitality. Nothing into energy, because that's for losers. Skills. We have a lot of spare, because the Barb has masteries to bump up pretty much every single damage source weapon in the game, aside from using a bow, so we don't really need to use anything. Now, the interesting part of my gear here, which I'll show first before I finish off the skills, is the following. I have 2 Plague Knives on Switch. You're like, Billy, why? Why do you have that? Why do you not have Phase Blades? Now, I chose Fang Knife because they take up less room, and I don't care about damage output. I don't care about that sort of thing. Now, these are for stacking Frenzy. We have Frenzy maxed, not for the damage, not for killing enemies, but for getting stacks, boys. So we have Max Frenzy for max stack attack speed and run walk speed, so we can switch to our Plagues. We have increased Stamina, which maxes out our duration to 14 seconds. Slap boys with Plague, we proc lower res, we get stacks of Frenzy, we switch back to Kuko Shikaku bow with a max 3.13 APS per second, boys. Attacks per second. for those who don't know what that means. And then we shoot. That's how it goes, okay? The rest of the skills are whatever you want to put them in, right? 1-point wonders, I still have 38. I can put them in natural res. I can put them in run speed. It doesn't fucking matter. Battle orders, I have maxed. So you boys can just max out Find Item if you want to do this. You can do what you want. To finish off the gear though, so Kuko, we have a shell. We kind of need a shell. We can't really get away with a 15 IS, unfortunately. When it comes to the amulet, since we're not using Enigma, Cat's Eye is just fucking great. The attack speed we do need. The run walk is amazing because we don't have Enigma. Moving on. Cow King's Hoops. Scarab Shell, perfectly upped. It's kind of cute to see. So that's what that looks like. It has the highest fire damage from boots you can get. It's better than Inferno Strides. The dexterity adds to range damage, which you could probably figure. And we'll move on. It's just a great option. Ravenfrost makes sense. Razortail makes sense. We need Pierce, so that's locked in. This is just here for a source of just attack rating and dual leech just to make the build easy. We don't even really need the Mana Steel since we're not teleporting, to be honest. And we've got Hellmouth here. Now, a few alternates for gear I want to go over. There's the Plagues, I showed you that. A few alternates for gear I want to show before I get into doing a few things is the gear such to pre-buff. Let me do that now. So, for pre-buffing gear, we have the following boys. We have a Demon Limb with +5, and then we have a +30, -18. So that is complete with facets that are +5, and then that are only -3, because we don't need any of that minus enemy resistance when we're pre-buffing ourselves, okay? So if I grab my enchant, it's going to be 23 plus 177 damage. So if I switch back here to 8, 6, 7, buffing up, 30, 88. It's a good little chunk of damage, to be honest. And with like the amount that we're getting, or that we have access to in this build, without Fire Mastery, without all of that, it's kind of sick, to be honest. So let's put the Plagues back here. And then a brief question why, what else I got. Now, this is basically just to look cool. It is not the min-maxed version of this build. If I didn't care about dropping a little bit of DPS with this, then I could do the following, which would be best in slot for this build currently. So we'd be looking at an Artisan's Diadem of Speed, Run Walk with 3 perfect facets. A facet does roll with flat damage on it as well to fire damage, so that all adds to the explosion radius on top of the +5 and -5, right? All applicable. Now there is exactly what you'd expect for a chest, right? Jewelers, something handy like life, and then max facets in that bitch. Now, with this type of build, since we have minimal sources, to amp up fire damage and elemental damage, since there's no mastery, there's none of that. Anything that we can get with plus fire skill damage is going to bump up our fire damage the more that we have it, right? So now that if you really have like so many charms, so many facets, it's going to amp up further in the long term. But if you don't have something like that, then a great alternative is going to be such as the Dragon Armor. Okay? So that's a good alternate we can get back to looking at. But I think for the sake of it, let's go back to Purple Boy and slap some boys around. Plagues are still nice to pre-buff because we get +2 on each. It's still +4. We're not really missing out. I'm going to go to my Frenzy, get some stacks up really quick. I can still do some damage. Low res procs pretty consistently, and then there we go. Look at that speed. Look at the speed on the boy. That is just sick. Now, we can't leap while we're in this form, but we can leap attack. And it is 14 seconds as well, so it's not like we're missing out on a shit ton with not using Enigma. Low res is very consistent, the damage is good, and we are sitting comfortably on P1, I'm not going to lie. God, I enjoy shit like this. It's so nice to have purple and it matches the bow as well. Oh, it's great. I'm going to go straight to just going to do cows. I mean, it's ranged, we can pierce, so it seems like a good thing to test. Why not? When I get to cows, I'll swap out a couple of bits of gear to show you boys. Now, I can't remember how many stacks of Frenzy I need to get up to that set amount of 183 of run walk speed and whatnot, but yeah, I can keep slapping about with Frenzy and I can show you how fast I can get my dude to get. One time I was farming in Act 2, and I could run all the way outside towards Stony Tomb, and then all the way back into my stash and back out just as I ran out. Just 14 seconds. It's kind of incredible, to be honest. Infinity and lower res and Sunder. Even though this isn't too much damage at 3500, it's still good, you know. I didn't expect this to be as well performing as it is, really. I went through it on the plan, I'm like, fuck, this is such a meme, and then I knew I could make it look kind of purple, and I'm like, haha, hee hee, purple character is going to be bad, good meme, but it's actually okay. So, here's Purple Boy. I'm going to switch back and get a couple of facets here. There we are, so we've got a couple extra. I'm also going to put the dragon in here, so I can show you boys that in a second. So this is players 1. I'll just double check that it is. Yep, thankfully. There we go. Now, let's get our Frenzy Stacks back up. Here we are, it doesn't take too long. Doesn't take too long for low res proc either. And there we go. This is better than you think it is, boys. Let's run around, low res proc, boom. I'm telling you, boys, this is a fucking weird one. And I'm as surprised as you are. So this is 2 facets stronger than the purple variant that you saw just before. But purple is poggers, boys. So, I mean, if you are going to make it, then do that. Now, the other variant you can do, which is still just as strong, if not more so, is dragon. We're going to get hydras that add up more. They do better in close quarters. They don't look as impressive in a place like this in cows. So I might end up showing you somewhere else for that. Here we are. Get the low res. Come on, run around a little bit. Hit me, hit me. There we go. Good. Man. It just works, boys. You know? It just works for some reason. Switch, get Frenzy Stacks, proc lower res. You're in conviction range. Switch back to your Kuko Shikaku and your Barbarian with all your fire charms and clear Hell Cows. What more do you want for this game? If we're not going to get any more patch notes, boys, I mean, let me know. Maybe I can write this up. Maybe we'll write up our own patch notes of just off-meta shit just for next season. It's like, hey boys, new release. This just in. Ranger Barbarian patch. Fucking hell. I kind of want to show one more area. Let's go somewhere else, huh? Just because. Just because. I do like showing Arcane because it looks kind of nice. Let's go to Travancore and finish off Travancore, hey? Why not? I think I have low fire res, so it might be a little bit iffy. But I want to give it a whirl. I'm going to keep the 3-facet helm. I'm going to keep the 4-facet chest. We're going to go with that. That should be well strong enough. The Mercenary, I haven't showed because it's the same in all my elemental builds, boys. Fort Andy's Infinity, go cry, okay? Now, I'm going to get stacks up here first. And then I'm going to run into Trav and just nuke them. That's my plan. Ready? Let's go. Brr. Proc, proc, proc. Please, please hit me. Hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me. Come on. Yes. I don't know what's your hand. Whatever. There's so much fire going on. Oh no, he's totally gonna die. This is the build of all builds. He's still alive. How did my mercenary survive? this is, I guess, the Ranger Barbarian. What else do you call it, boys? I do not know. Kuko Shikaku, max fire damage, demon limb, facets galore. Keep your Hellmouths if you find them. Upgrade your Cow King's hooves. Subscribe for fuck's sake. I'll see you boys in the next one.